Okay, so we're just going to take a quick run out to Sonam Luang Song. Right, that's the local market, weekend market we usually go to. My poor baby, were you ready for your bike? You bike ready? You remember how to ride?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
You sure? Anyway, so I've also been tagged, one of our group, in our Thailand Vloggers group, has tagged me in a video reply for strange things you find in Thailand. And I've got a perfect topic that's been on the top of my mind since he tagged me. Ghosts. Thailand and ghosts. Anyway, we'll talk about that when we're at the market. For now, I'm just going to jump on the bike and we'll see you there. Enjoy the ride. Here we go, we're all prepared, we've locked the helmets to the bikes, we've locked the helmet to the front wheel, they've got the alarm system on the back wheel. That should do the job. Okay darling, you want to go inside now?
Yep. Let's
So you give the girl 10 baht to watch your bike, she's got 100 bikes to watch. I just wonder how well that really works. But anyway, I'm sure it's just the way things are done in Thailand. So what do you want to buy?
I don't know.
You don't know, you just want to walk around the market?
For enjoy to walk around looking.
So it would be like in the shade here, it feels like about 35, 36 degrees in the shade. We're only 4 days out from Songkran, which is the new year, and of course water fights. Yeah, so this is the peak of the heat. From April through to May, and it starts to settle down again. Bangkok experiences temperatures probably in the highs of 42, probably as low, I think, daytime lows around about 34. That's Celsius. Like if you're not a Celsius person, then hey, that's alright, just look it up on Google. Don't ask me to do the math. You people who are backward, still in the old imperial systems. Hey, this is the 21st century, guys. Wake up. So as I said, the one thing we wanted to talk about today was this Thailand's obsession with ghosts. Okay, darling, you tell me, why everybody in Thailand talk about ghosts all the time?
Ghosts.
Ghosts, yeah. Why you like to watch? She stays up at like all ungodly hours in the morning with her iPhone underneath the blankets.
People Thailand believe seal have goat in the Thailand when somebody die and have a goat everywhere.
Yeah, so that's right. So it's the same idea around the world, right? But from my experience, from going from England to Australia, stopping in a couple other countries I've been around the world, Thailand has the biggest obsession with it, and I don't know whether it's part of the Buddhist culture, the Buddhist framework of their spiritual practice. One of the key tenets of the Buddhist practice is this concept of nirvana and karma, where you will reincarnate and come around in a full circle. And if you've had a good life, then you'll reincarnate as somebody good or a human, and hopefully in a better position in your life to what you did on the previous run around. Well, all these things are great. I don't deny anybody's spiritual practice. I just won't teach anybody mine because it takes dedication. But yeah, it's still quite interesting the whole thing with the ghosts. As I said, she stays up at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, streaming from some sort of TV program on her phone, head underneath the blanket, and she's basically scaring herself watching these damn TV programs. It's absolutely the funniest thing to watch. It really is. Anything that says sale and 100 baht, she's always looking at the store. What you want? Okay. Anyhow, so part of this little challenge that Dan has thrown out, I'll link up Dan's channel. His channel name is, I don't have it in front of me. Tales from Thailand, that's right. So he's challenged me with this particular framework of a video, and part of the whole process is you need to tag somebody else. And it's been racking my mind for the last 2 to 3 days of who to challenge on this. Right now, admittedly, Dan did pre-qualify me simply because he's starting something, and he's starting something with our Thailand Vloggers group. Right, and we're just trying to build our community. Right, so I'm actually going to go one step further, and I'm not going to pre-qualify anybody. I was just trying to think who's a Thailand expat, loves Thailand, and has probably seen some really weird stuff in Thailand, right? And I'm pretty sure that they have.
I buy for you one.
Oh, okay, you can buy me love. Oh, okay, yeah. Yep. Heineken, I don't like Heineken beer.
Heineken or
No, I want Leo beer.
Starbucks?
No, Leo beer. I want Leo beer.
Single?
No, Leo. Yeah, so just trying to think of who to tag. Right, who would probably be up for this, and who would probably get.
Excuse me, sir. No have Rio beer, just
Oh my
single
God.
and strong.
Oh, get me Singer then. Singer beer. Yeah, Singer beer, L size, yep. I like this one. She's trying to dress me now. Yeah, so who could I challenge with this? What you want now? So who could I challenge with this whole, it's a whole lot of fun, right? Who do I think in the group would appreciate the fun side of this and really sort of have something to spin on about? So I've actually picked Colin from Thailand. He lives up in Kachanamburi, and he lives in the Buddhist temple. He's managed to build a house. He has a long-term lease on the temple property. He's built his house with his wife, and he's been here for quite a number of years, and he's pretty much a local. I think he does teaching as well. He teaches English. So I'm going to throw it out to Colin. I'm challenging you, Mr. Colin, to come up with what's the strangest thing you've seen in Thailand. And the other person, I thought, just for a laugh, I don't know whether he's going to be up for it, but I do know Kev watches my channel. Right, so Kev in Thailand, I challenge you to what's the strangest thing you've seen in Thailand? And I'd love to sort of hear your comments. Anyway, so back onto the whole subject of ghosts. as I said, there's these late night TV programs, and honestly, right, I've seen better quality YouTube videos than this stuff that these people are producing, which is what they call commercial television. It is absolutely the funniest thing, right? And look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's all pranked, right? It's sort of like, I don't think they have what they call clickbait on TV, but it's definitely getting some clickbait on Facebook, and it's getting clickbait everywhere. 99 times out of 100, anything to do with ghosts, from what I've seen around the world, in my experience, is all bullshit. Right, it's usually a scam. It's designed to solicit your money for some reason, right? And you know, all the stuff that goes through that, right? But I'm not saying I'm not a believer. When I lived in Hornsby, right, which is a northern suburb of Sydney, we actually have our house on the top of a hill, just before Galston Gorge. And from my understanding through the history of where I live, it was an Aboriginal ceremonial burial ground, that whole area where we live. And quite honestly, over the 53 years I lived in that house, I have seen some stuff that cannot be accounted for in general science. And so I am actually a firm believer that there is more to the physical world than what the scientists actually propose. But also my spiritual training as well has a different take on that, but I won't go into that. Yeah, so you know, on the scientific side of ghosts, I do remember reading an article a little while back where Neil deGrasse Tyson, which is, you know, one of these celebrity scientists on YouTube, and he has obviously, you know, done a lot of TV work as well. Him and Brian Cox, both you know, scientists, astrophysics. I think Brian Cox is very well known for string theory, and and been very heavily involved with the Large Hadron Collider. And that article basically goes on to sort of say, in all the experiments they've done with the LHC, there has been no evidence of any departure from the physical reality, and there is no way that information about an entity can be stored, right, in the framework of current science, in quarks and you know, the subatomic particles. There's just no way that can create a coherence of an entity, right, that is obviously spoken about within these circles of ghosts. Yeah, so you got to think of the scientific realm, but don't forget, you know, we're discovering new science all the time. In the idea of science, like this new EM drive, which has been, you know, hypothetically discussed as being possibly a new propulsion system for interstellar travel. Again, you know, like, there's been no proof that it works, or there's been limited proof, which couldn't be discounted as bad measurement. That's probably the best way I'd put it. What you looking for, darling? What? She's in my pocket again. Yeah, so this is, as I said, there's a scientific side. You know, scientifically, this is to say that there's absolutely no way that current science could explain this phenomena of ghosts. So, you know, the Western world tends to take that approach to a fairly high degree. I suppose there's, you know, there's the religious framework of, you know, life after death. You know, as per, you know, the Christian dogma to do with, you know, like Jesus rising after, resurrecting after 3 days. But, you know, whether he's physically a ghost or not is totally subjective. We weren't there. Yes, but it's really getting back to this whole fascination with Thailand. It is everywhere you go, and it is well. It's refreshing the fact that we've got pretty much a Western culture in a lot of their day-to-day framework. Yet it's completely seated within this Buddhist framework and spiritual practice, which has a high preference for the belief in ghosts. And it really is one of the strangest things I've ever come across. Anyway, so my take on the whole ghost thing really comes down to we just don't know enough to completely discount this stuff out of hand. We still haven't explained what consciousness is. How does a whole bunch of cellular organisms and chemicals which make up the constitution of the body, and patterns of firing brain waves, and these experiences that have been sort of very well documented in circles of experiences of afterlives and everything else. And there is these unexplained phenomena that you do hear about. As I said, about 1% of these things have validity. 99% simply clickbait or that sort of style of TV or advertising, or basically somebody wanting your money. When you take the money side out of it, how real is the exploration of the afterlife? We can't explain what consciousness is, and instead of saying that, there's a lot of scope to sort of say that ghosts could be a part of our ultimate reality. Look, I'm open to suggestions. Anyway, look, definitely leave your comments on the platform here. I'm pretty sure people are going to flame me like to hell, telling me the fact that there is no such thing as ghosts. And then, of course, I'm going to get the other side, that people just to tell me that yes, ghosts are real, and I'm going to take a middle ground on that one. As I said, my personal experience of John Dee's work and the Hermetic Golden Dawn and Thelema and a number of other practices which I've been heavily involved with for the last 30 years, and summoning the Holy Guardian Angel and things like that. My experiences are very unique and very, very sort of private experiences. I don't discuss them in the general framework of the public, but it's experiences that have really become a part of my life, and what I take and assume is reality. And of course, it's understanding the more function of how reality works. From a point of magic, it gives you the ability to make change. Anyway, so that's my take on ghosts and the funniest things, or the strangest things I see in Thailand, or seen in Thailand. Look, I've seen some strange things, but I think ghosts, in my book, have to take the case. And just the Thai understanding and spiritual foundations of obviously letting the ghosts be part of their everyday life. But anyway, so the challenges out there. So Colin and Kevin, I challenge you, do a video of what's the strangest thing you've encountered when you're in Thailand. Love to see those videos. Anyway, I'll just drop a link to those channels. I'm pretty sure everybody knows Kev's channel. You may not know Colin's channel, but he does a lot of video to do with the countryside of Thailand, specifically in the Buddhist framework, because he lives on Buddhist land, and he's been there for some time, and he's built his house, and he's really got a pretty good grasp of country life. I'm pretty sure it's a teacher. We all know who Kev is. I've talked privately with Kev, and he's a funny bloke, and I love what he does. I'm not going to get into the whole shit fight that's going on in the Thailand vlogging scene. I think there's just kids with freaking toys that just won't play well with each other. Me, I'm on the other side of the cake there. I believe that there's a specific type of personality that will make videos while living in Thailand. Right. I'm showing one side of that personality, Kev's showing one side, Colin's showing one side. We all show a specific side of what Thailand is like, and it's only watching all these particular channels, right, will you appreciate the full depth of what life is like living in Thailand. And look, I can't do what Kev does. I don't live in Pattaya. I might be able to show what Colin does in 2 to 3 years when we build our house, but I don't live in the countryside, so I can't show you that side. There's a few others out there. Everybody has their own perspective of Thailand life, and it's from the framework of what they do and what they enjoy, right? As long as it's done openly and publicly, I'm okay with it. This is a lifestyle. Let's be real about life. Whereas, as I said, I've mentioned before, there's a few channels out there that do this for a very much of a voyeuristic framework, which I think is totally distasteful. I will continue to say that. I won't attack these channels directly, but I really sort of say, it's not Thailand. Right? Yes, it happens in select areas in Thailand, but like Thailand has got 65 million people, right? And we're talking about less than 0.1% of the population here. Right, it just comes down to a bit of a realisation. Yeah, and people watch those channels because they like to see pretty girls in skimpy G-strings. Well, can't help that. And again, it's the mentality of the people who watch video and their cloistered lifestyle that they don't get to see pretty girls, I'm sure. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up now because I've probably talked too long. Most people, I've had a few comments on my channel to say, give me less face time, give her more face time. But she's not comfortable at talking in front of the camera. And I don't want to present that whole idea of walking around a camera and sticking in people's face. It's actually better for me to have my face in the camera as taking a selfie, and then you get to see where I've been, and occasionally I'll turn the camera around and show you where I'm going. It's all good, and I hope you enjoyed. Anyway, so the challenge is out there, and we'll catch up with you next time. Okay, darling. They want to say goodbye. You want to say goodbye? Boy, boy. Okay. Check you next time. Bye for now. Boy, boy.